I've got a package here which I opened just a couple of days ago, which doesn't seem particularly interesting until you look at the postmark. This package, today's the 12th of November 2022, and this package looks like it was sent on the 28th of April 2005. So this has been sitting in my loft unopened for 17.5 years, and there's obviously some story behind that. This is a package from the Open University. It's the second or possibly the third mailing in an Open University course which I started in January 2005. This is, and which I never completed. The course was MST 121, which is Using Mathematics, I think it was called. I always regretted not having done well at A-level maths in school, and at some point I decided to go back and rectify that by studying an OU course. I did have some history with the Open University. I did, probably a decade prior to this, did the Science Foundation course S102, which was a 60 credit course. This was to be, I think, a 30 credit course. I wasn't interested in getting a qualification from the OU, not specifically anyway. I've got degrees and so on. I don't really need that, but I was interested in the subject, because lots of things that I'm interested in out in the world kind of require mathematical understanding, and so that's where I was going with this. But circumstances were against me and I didn't complete this course, as it happens. You know, the main circumstance, in retrospect, is completely obvious, was that at the time I started working on this course, I was part way into my third year of a master's degree in systemic therapy, which was not only a master's degree, but it was a professional qualification as well. So, you know, I didn't have space in my life to do this, but there you go. Anyway, I've been looking back at where I got to on this course, and you know, in retrospect, I got further than I remembered having got. I have a vague memory of deciding to give up the course, and it looks like, from what I have here, it looks like in May of 2005 I submitted the second tutor marked assignment, which means I got about 50% of the way through the course. There's 4 assignments for the course, 4 modules. We'd pretty much finished studying the first 2 modules, and I did submit the second assignment. It looks like I actually made contact with, I remember making contact with the tutor and expressing some sort of doubt about continuing. I think I was encouraged to submit it anyway, and it looks like I submitted just over half of the assignment in spite of a 1-week extension, and then presumably I gave up after that. So in a sense, history is repeating itself. My regret at not having done well at A-level is compounded by having faltered and abandoned this course. But the point is, I still have all the materials here. I have some history with engaging with the material. My capacity to complete this, I don't think is in any doubt. It's just my motivation to do so and the circumstances which got in the way. So it occurs to me that I could revisit this, and this is not a course that the Open University offers anymore. This was retired in 2013. There are equivalent new courses. The OU does this all the time. It redevelops and updates its courses. But you know, none of the mathematics that this MST 121 teaches will in any sense be out of date. You know, the differences are in what's emphasised and what's the way the course is structured and taught. That'll be different. So I got to thinking I could revisit this and study it independently, without, of course, the scaffolding of the tutor support, the tutorials and the assignments and so on. So I could make use of all the materials on this course independently and work my way through it. I've got everything here. Well, at first sight, I've got everything here that I need to do that. I've got all the modules and the handbooks and the support materials. 2 things I don't have, which were required for this course. There's a particular calculator that was required, a graphing calculator, the Texas Instruments TI-83 Plus. But, and I mean, I did have one of those. Of course, I sold that long ago. Those are available for under £20 on eBay, so I could easily get one of those. The other thing, which was slightly more dodgy, this course used, I don't know if the OU still uses this for its maths courses, but it used a computer program called MathCAD. And we were given, as I recall, a password, and I don't know whether we used that online or whether it was installed on the PC. I can't remember now. But I don't still have that, and however we were given that, it's very unlikely that that software from 18 years ago was going to run. But MathCAD is still out there. I've discovered it's become a new thing called MathCAD Prime, and it's very expensive to buy the full version, but there is a student/trial version which continues to function after the trial period, and I think it will be adequate in terms of functionality. It does actually, and another thing which is important to say, somehow through good fortune and careful forward planning, you might say, I saved all of the MathCAD project files for all of the course, which I still have available on my PC, and having tracked down and installed the trial version of MathCAD Prime, there is a conversion function that successfully imports all of those files. So basically there doesn't seem to be any impediment to re-engaging with this study material, so that's what I'm thinking of doing. Now you might say, why don't you just re-enroll on a more up-to-date Open University course? And ideally I would do that. I say ideally, there is some merit in not having the pressure of there's affordances and constraints, shall we say, in having the structure of the course, having the deadlines, the motivation of commitment. But that is a two-way street. Something about the freedom to study at the pace that fits is also quite appealing. But having said that, the main reason for not enrolling on a modern OU course is the cost. In 2005, the cost for this 30 credit module was £245 or thereabouts. In 2022/23, the cost is something of the order of £1,600. Now I can afford that, but I could put £1,600 to much better use, given that I could have something relatively close in value for free. So am I going to do this? Well, time will tell. I have a bit of a spark of wanting to do it. I've got enough time to do it. I think I've got everything I need in terms of materials. Even though this is a 30 credit course, I think this is a 30 credit course, it's still quite a commitment in terms of time, and in terms of the study materials, this is half of the course material. Here, the other half is in that package that I showed you previously. The other obvious thing to say is 17 and a half years has gone by since I even looked at this, so my ability to engage with mathematical ideas is very rusty at best. Of course, notwithstanding when I started this, it was 25 years since I'd studied maths at school, so even then I had to do there was pre-course preparation to make sure you're ready. In fact, I have here, this is the revision module that's supplied for just that purpose. This is like a 160-page workbook just to make sure you're ready to start. So I'll probably have to do all that again as well. But the point is to begin to feel competent at this. So there it is, Open University MST 121 using mathematics. Can we reboot it and get through to the end? Time will tell, and if I do, then maybe I'll post an update.